It's getting close to Halloween again, so it's time to tell some more horror stories befitting this occasion. The following are terrifying stories told by witnesses and survivors of the infamous Route 66, now called US 491 in Utah, and Colorado and US 191 in Arizona, which runs through Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. It stretches across 200 miles of sweeping desert wilderness, as well as the tribal nations of the Ute tribe and Navajo Nation. The route is mostly remote and deserted, and looks completely uninhabited, with no signs of civilization. The route has a reputation as one of the most haunted highways in America, likely thanks to the unfortunate numbering 666. The American Association of State Highway Officials gave it the number in 1926. As the route was the sixth branch of then Route 66, it was assigned the number 666. It wasn't long before people began to notice and make the connection between Route 666 and the number mark for the beast from Christian mythology. This sinister connotation has only been compounded by facts and statistics that suggest the highway had an above-average rate of accidents and fatalities. The route has amassed a long and bizarre history of weird happenings, inexplainable accidents, bad luck, apparitions, ghosts, spectres, and other unexplained phenomena. Let's delve into the rich history of Route 666, or Route 66, with these 6 haunting ghost stories and mysteries. Number 6, the Black Sedan. One of the most intriguing stories involves the alleged spectre that supposedly inhabits the route, which is the apparitions of a menacing black sedan, sometimes called Satan's sedan. The sedan is said to prowl the highway and terrorise drivers. A driver would be going along the highway, and as the sun goes down, they suddenly have a feeling of inexplicable terror. Then, as the final glimpse of the sun has slipped below the horizon and night has truly set in, the driver will glance in their rearview mirror and notice a pair of headlights moving quickly towards them. This always appears to happen just after sundown and during a full moon. Trying to outrun the lights is futile, as the car will always get closer no matter how fast you go to avoid it. What actually happens when the sedan catches up to the driver varies between stories. Some people report the car pulling up beside them and keeping pace for a while before heading off into the night, sometimes honking the horn or revving the engine in an intimidating fashion. Others claim that the car bumps or smashes into them from behind or sideswipes them before speeding off. There are other witnesses who describe the sedan speeding towards them with no signs of stopping, forcing them either into the shoulder or just off the road, only for the car to speed past into the desert night. Those who attempt to look into the car windows in an attempt to see who is driving report seeing either no one at the wheel or a shadowy figure driving. Many witnesses claim that after being set upon by the black sedan, it will suddenly vanish without a trace, leaving them terrified in the cold and dark desert night. Number 5, the semi-truck. Another popular myth concerning phantom vehicles is the ghostly semi-truck, supposedly driven by a demonic entity. Witnesses describe the truck racing down the highway at breathtaking speeds, chasing down cars and even smashing them off the road. It also terrorises drivers that have broken down, some of whom say that the truck seemed to be deliberately targeting them. Apparently, there is a demon behind the wheel that holds a grudge against the living. Author Linda Dunning, a prolific writer on the strange phenomena surrounding Route 66, described a close encounter that her husband had with the semi-truck in the book Spectres in Doorways, The History and Hauntings of Utah. She recounts that her husband saw a truck that appeared to be on fire speeding down the road towards him, going at least 130 miles per hour, with flames coming from the smokestack and sparks coming from the wheels. Dunning's husband, in complete fear for his life, pulled off the road and discarded his vehicle as the truck roared off into the night, leaving behind a trail of sparks and fire. The man eventually calmed down, pulled himself together, and was able to continue with his journey. Number 4. The Girl. The highway is occupied by more than just demonic drivers. There are many other spectral beings out there. One of the most infamous entities haunting the deserted highway is that of a young girl dressed in white. She's said to appear at night, standing in the middle of the road or posing as a hitchhiker. The forlorn expression on her face, combined with the dark and deserted desert stretching endlessly around the road, prompted motorists to stop and ask the girl if she needs a help or a ride. The witnesses that have stopped to assist the girl watch in horror as she dematerialised and disappeared into nothing. She just vanished as if she was never there. Unlike the demons driving across the highway, the girl appears unaggressive and, although unnerving, is not dangerous. Number 3. Demon Dogs. Some of the more dangerous entities are the packs of demon dogs, also known as the Hounds of Hell, that are said to stalk the wilderness surrounding Route 66. The demon dogs have been spotted prowling the desert near the highway and occasionally chase down cars driving along the road. Motorists that have been attacked by the dogs describe them as being supernaturally fast, able to keep speed with their vehicles while snapping their jaws and snarling. It is said that they will actively attack cars, and their fangs and claws are sharp and powerful enough to tear through metal and tyres. There were reports of the hounds smashing through car windows to get to the people inside. Several motorists have described running over the hounds, and when they looked back in the mirror, found them completely uninjured. It may not be surprising to learn that the many accidents that have been reported on the highway were attributed to these ferocious beasts. Number 2. Skinwalkers. Adding to the strange assortment of creatures and other strange beings found roaming Route 66, other shape-shifting entities that the Native Americans call skinwalkers. The highway stretches through several sacred Native American sites, including the Ute Mountain and the extinct volcanic core known as Shiprock, which are all part of the Native American folklore on the land that Route 66 was built upon. Native American legend says that the skinwalkers are the sports of evil medicine men who are able to transform at will into animals such as coyotes, wolves, and crows. After they have transformed into their desired animal form, skinwalkers are known to run in front of vehicles or even enter vehicles and revert to their human forms to terrify drivers. There are many stories that describe passengers suddenly materialising in the back of seats of cars, many of which are attributed to skinwalkers. Rather than being playful mischief makers, the native legends say that the skinwalkers terrify their victims by making them crash and die in order to steal their souls. The Native Americans in the area believe that the way to prevent a skinwalker from getting into a car is to ensure that there is no room for them to sit. Skinwalkers that appear in front of vehicles and in back seats are said to be the root causes of many traffic accidents that occur on the accursed highway. Number 1. Lost time. There are several other strange phenomena attached to Route 66. Time distortion is just one of them. Several drivers describe how they had somehow lost time when they reached their destination. There have also been reports of people not only losing time, but being teleported across a vast distance. Some of the reports about teleportation describe disappearing from one location and appearing in another location several hours later, far away from their starting point and having no memory of where they were or what happened during the lost time. There are also additional stories of drivers who disappear without a trace for days or weeks at a time, only to appear somewhere along the highway with no memory of how they got there or what happened while they were gone. The people who have experienced lost time and come out on the other end may be the lucky ones, as there are also several stories about people disappearing along Route 66 and never being heard from again. The proof of this comes in the form of mysteriously abandoned cars, where there is no sign of the driver or what happened to them. Sometimes the driver and their car have both disappeared.